Well, I think the first thing is to have a very clear process. So have an idea of what your settling process looks like. Very first is kind of those first impressions at manaakitanga. Have someone who's taking the lead, someone who's going to reach out to them and say, hey, we're booking in your settling visits next month. I'm thinking about these days. I quite like a settling process that goes over about 4 weeks. So, you could have shorter or longer, but I like a 4-week settling process. And starting with, over the next 4 weeks, just come in a couple of times a week and starting small and then building up. So the first couple of visits that first week, just a bit of a play visit, get to know you, just hang out, just, relax and have fun. And then build up, hey, next time you come, we'll try lunch, or, that second week we might have a play, but then join a meal time. Build up perhaps even longer over the third day. And by the time you get to the fourth week, it could almost be like a mini kind of week, like short days, but they're the days that they'd usually attend for. Some parents really like that schedule, really like to know exactly what to do, what's going to happen at every visit. Some children are like that too, but then some parents really, they just need to be flexible with it as well. And I think, take the cue from the parents as well. They might need more visits, they might need less visits. They know their child best. They'll know if their child needs more visits or less visits. So do take the lead from them. So even though you've got a process and a schedule, be really flexible in it as well. Keep it positive and keep it honest as well. So you want it to be a really good experience for the child. If they're having a rough day, if they're tired, if things are just not working, say, or the parent's getting a bit teary or a bit upset about it, just say, look, we'll try again tomorrow. No drama, doesn't matter. This happens. So keep it positive, but then also, do keep it honest with parents as well. Do tell them, if they know things aren't going well, talk to them about what we can do next to support that. But, it's not always smooth, that settling process. It's a journey for everyone. So be open to as many visits as possible. I think have a list of particular things you want to talk to parents about. So there'll be some really key ones, of course, are care moments. So what foods they eat at home, how they like to eat at home, all those cues and signals like I talked about with my daughter and the turning her head away and that kind of thing. The same with sleeping, the same with nappy changes or toileting. And of course, the play, likes, dislikes. So have a bit of a list of some key things you really want to know and have some conversations around that. I think preempting the goodbye as well, about, how a drop-off ritual might go, that the parent might come in, they might read a few books, then they're going to say goodbye, why it's so important to say goodbye, because otherwise the teachers have just magically awayed their parent, and then the child's going to say, no, I don't like you, you're the person who stole my parent, So that importance of saying goodbye, and then you say goodbye and you go, preempting all those conversations before they actually have to happen. And the same with sleeping. I think sleeping is can be quite a stressful journey for both child, parent and teacher. Again, follow the lead of the parent, I think. We often say to the parents that we're settling in, it's up to you. If you want to tell us how your child likes to go to sleep, we can try it. We can be the person who puts it to bed. If you feel it's better you doing it the first couple of times, then you can do it. I'm actually a little bit controversial in that if the parent doesn't want to try sleep at all during settling, then we don't. Because when they start with us, they will sleep. And I've never met a child who has not slept. So if that journey is too stressful for the parent, then we don't bother. So when I talk about flexibility, there's a little bit of that kind of thing too. But even if we don't try a sleep while settling, at least we've talked with them about how they like to go to sleep. Do they have a dummy? Are they rocked? Are they just placed in the bed with a hand on them? Or, do they have music? All those little things that will just help the sleep time go as smooth as possible, because it's really familiar to what they're used to at home. The same with goodbye. We don't necessarily insist that parents say goodbye, especially if we're thinking of settling as getting to know the family. We don't want to ask them to leave the centre when this is valuable time we could be spending with them. If that's really important to them and they really want to try the goodbyes, then we do it. And it might just be, hey, why don't you go to the office and have a coffee, or just go for a walk around the block and then come back. It doesn't need to be a long thing. It can just just be a little thing. And again, it can be starting small and then building up to kind of leaving for a morning and coming back, or having that short day and things like that. I always encourage settling toys. I think settling toys are really important, especially because they smell like home, they're familiar from home. They are the only toy at the centre that is theirs, and that's really special, and I think that that's really important, especially during settling. I think a really important part of settling as well is getting to know the parents' communication style. So how they like to be contacted during the day, how they like updates, is it phone calls? Is it that they really like to chat on pickup? Is it, do they need text messages or little story part posts, photos and comment throughout the day? I think every parent has a different life schedule and different work, things that's going on for them in their lives. So knowing what's the best way to get in contact with them and how they like to have information about their child, I think that's really key in settling as well. I think it's really important to communicate well with parents in their first, couple of weeks, couple of months, but sending them updates, sending them photos, calling them throughout the day just to say, hey, he's doing great, he's having a great day. Or drop off was hard, but settled in really well now. As soon as you can get that message out, the better. I think that really goes a long way towards that trust that parents place in you as well. It takes a whole team to settle as well. I think that's a really important practical thing. You will have a teacher who is taking the lead and being there with them and showing them that manaakitanga. But while they're doing that, then the whole rest of the team needs to be taking care of the place as well. So that teacher can be free to just be with that child and be with that family, and they know that everything else that needs to be done during the day is being done because their team's got it. Their team's checking in with them and things like that as well. If your settling process involves the family getting to know lots and lots of teachers, which is important too, just making sure that that parent is never left alone by themselves in the centre. There's always someone there looking after them, talking to them. I think that's really, really important in terms of that building trust for the family. I think for younger children, those care moments, getting that information from the parents about the care moments is really, really important. I think for children who are slightly older, the parents just want to see that they're off happy, they're playing, and so it might be more of a chatting in the outdoor space while the child's off playing with friends, and just making sure that they're safe, that they know where you are and that they can come back to you if they need to, and those kinds of things. So I think the fundamentals of the settling process is very similar, but the child, I guess, when they're a little bit older, can tell you what they need, what they like, what they dislike, and it is really about, as a teacher saying, I'm interested in you and I want to get to know you and show me all these things. And I think conversation flows really naturally when the children are playing and you're just chatting with parents as well.